We'll make the war goal Salamanca. Our fearsome leader, Ramon, is going to show up and roll an 8. We have to take the train penalty, but that's okay. We're flanking by 1 with the 1 extra infantry. That's why we waited for the extra troop. Get the fabrication going on. Castile again. He's a glory seeker. Fancy. Let's chase down that remaining army. Alright, final admin click. And 2 more Diplo clicks. Click, click. Renaissance is present. Turn off dev cost pushing. We'll do trade power instead. And to embrace the institution, I'm assuming we can already do it. It's 123 ducats. I think we take out 2 loans, and then we... Actually, we're going to take money from Leon in this war, so let's just wait till this war's over. Maybe we don't have to take out any loans for it. Had a bit of a growth spurt, it looks like. Portugal, yeah, Portugal ate some of the lands to the north. They killed Galicia, I think it was. When looting, it's better to loot 1 province at a time than it is to do this. And while I go get some more coffee, I would like you guys to think about why that's the case. And someone pointed out, because I feel like being a teacher today. So why do you think it's better to loot 1 province at a time? Submit your answers now. I'll be right back. Alright, chat says, so if you loot 1, full loot, move to next, you might be able to loot the first again. That's definitely one of the reasons, yes. So the way that the loot timer works is that, I mean, if you just read the tooltip, it'll tell you. This province was last looted on whatever date, September the 1st, the last monthly tick that we did looting. It does not start recovering until 2 years after the last loot tick, so 24 months, and then it recovers at 10% per month. If you loot all 3, it'll just take longer to get all the job done, and then you're also delaying the speed by which it starts to recover, which affects you if you're going to conquest the land. But the much, much more important and more impactful reason for it is that if you loot like this, and a rebel stack pops up, if this guy with his relatively small dev, small size country, if he has rebels, they'll probably be like a 5 or 6 stack. But a 5 or 6 stacks it'll probably instantly win this battle. Like you'll lose the army outright. You'll get stack wiped. If I were doing this to a larger nation like Castile, he might spawn with a 20 stack, and you might just get instantaneously overrun because of the 10-to-1 ratio. So never loot like siege like this long term. You want to group up. You want to try to prioritize provinces that are in defensive terrain. Make sure you have a general appointed if you have a spare. Blah, 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 blah. So you guys know. Well, the war is too quick for rebels. Here's the thing. There are always random events that can fire out of the blue and spawn rebels on your army. You can never know for sure if your army is safe. So just don't trust that you're safe because, you know, they don't have war exhaustion or there's no positive unrest in the province. He could have pretenders spawn. He could have some random scripted event based on religion, like the Lollards or the Socinian heretics or whatever. Isn't it the Socinians over here? You know? It's just safer to loot as a team, as a group. I'm happy that my cat trick is working and he's just happy in his box. Although he is distracted by the mouse. I think he's going to really like using the laser pointer. Can't you just squirrel if you get rebels? You could, but... I mean, if you want to play devil's advocate, I could just say, can't you just use the Steam achievement editor to give yourself all the achievements and then never play the game again? Or as my... not psychology, what was it? My philosophy teacher in college said, and for some reason this quote has always stuck with me. He said, every day I have within my power, like, the decision to stick my hand into a toaster. to deny that this is a legitimate choice or option is like a pervasion of truth or pervasion of fact. Just because you have the ability to do something doesn't mean that it's like a good idea, or like it doesn't invalidate the argument, you know? I guess I don't really know how to explain what I'm trying to talk about, but of course got a disease outbreak, naturally. Bum, 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 bum. Looks like Portugal's got an occupation of one of the forts, and Tlemcen also wants the land. He stole the occupation of Almeria. It's like he just wants these two. Hopefully, there's a small window here where we'll also be able to possibly attack Portugal without Tlemcen defending him. Yes. Negative 11 reasons for Tlemcen to defend Portugal. Could we take Portugal? Portugal has 12k troops to our 10k troops. He's got 3 times the manpower. And he has a tech advantage. We could do it with mercs. I'd like to wrap up this war first. If there's still an opportunity for it after this war, I'll probably do it. I'm just gonna stay at max maintenance in case I decide to go after him. We have how many favors with you? 3? Come on, win the siege, please. Isn't embraced cost based on core territory? We're talking about the cost to embrace an institution. That is one of the more ridiculous math formulas in this game. It's not based on number of provinces, it's not based on development, it's based on autonomy modified development, which you literally can't see anywhere in the game except for right here. Our autonomy modified local, like our autonomy modified development is 79.84. Our total development is 128. So what the game is doing is saying you have 10 development here, but with 86.4% autonomy, you only get 13.6% of 10 in this province. That, plus the same math in this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, etc., equals your autonomy modified development. So, ironically, you can lower the cost to embrace an institution by raising autonomy. Or conversely, if you're planning to embrace an institution, don't lower autonomy right before doing it. Personally, if I were in charge of development, I would have made the cost to embrace based on the average embracement of the country, not just based on this arbitrary average local autonomy thing. I would say, you know, this province has 2.4% of the Renaissance, so you get a 2.4% discount to embrace. That way, running an edict like institution spread would actually make sense. I've stated that many, many times, but falls on deaf ears. It would just make too much sense. Like, here's the thing. The AI is so dumb, it's so black and white, programmed to just say, there's an institution spreading into my lands that I don't have, I need it. Turn on the institution spread edict literally everywhere. The entire goddamn country. What do you mean there's no chance for it spreading in this state? Don't care. Turn on the edict. Let's triple the maintenance cost for our state, just for fun. Case in point, he's running institution spread in this area. This makes sense. They're all running it in their capital. They're paying triple maintenance in their capital state just to get, what? An extra 0.0 nothing spread rate? I mean, it's when they turn it on in the entire country that it's the most stupid. Heck, even I'm not running it because, well, I don't need to. Because we already have it in that province. I think we will do this click now. Come on, 35%. Government reform. All right. Curtail noble privilege. Nobility influence -10 or national manpower +15. Well, I mean, money's nice, but manpower is really what's stopping us from being able to grow faster right now. I think we will take... Another reason why I like the minus 10% is it allows you to do your clicks is always have a general from them. Like if we hadn't had that negative 10% denied sumptuary restrictions, these guys would be at 88% influence right now, which is kind of dangerously high. What do you guys want to do? What do you prefer? National manpower plus 15? So, the thing about national manpower plus 15 is that it applies here. It's not that many dudes. We could probably do the math on it to calculate it ahead of time, but it's not as simple as just saying, ooh, 129 times an extra 15%. It's not how it works. Nobles will be gone when you take parliament. True. So you're saying you're using that as an argument for taking the manpower? You always go curtail? I usually go curtail, but in this case, like, being manpower starved is kind of frustrating. Then again, if we just take the money and use that to hire a merc or two. Yeah, let's just stick with this. National tax plus 10 is fine. How much tax is it? 10%. 10%, but it's not really 10%. Like, we're not making 10% more. We're making 10% of the base income from taxation, which is 4.7 divided by 1.25, because that's what we had a second ago. So our base monthly tax income is 3.76 ducats a month. We get 10% more of that, which is an extra 0.38 ducats in income compared to what we made the previous month. Roughly. Naturally, a disease outbreak instead of the 50% chance to succeed. Awesome. Granada's got a 14% chance to fall. I'm sure it'll fall, even though mine won't fall. Lumpson still says no, but if they end their war, then there's a pretty good chance that... you shitting me. If they end their war, then Tlemcen will defend him. Seriously, I miss the 15%, the 50%. I bet they take the 14. I'm so salty. Ah, disease outbreak. Tricked you, game. You scratching the box? Are you playing with the box? Are you just playing? Are you cutie? I love this cat so much already. Wait, did you just get another disease? Back-to-back disease outbreaks. No, it's not that. He doesn't have enough troops to maintain the siege, so it hasn't progressed. Alright, obviously we take those two. Actually kind of tempted to consider keeping him around as a vassal. At least, like, part of him. We've spent so many admin points coring that if I take all of the land for myself, it's even more coring. Plus, he'll provide us with force limit, and he's got his own manpower recovery rate, and he'll have generals. We have no subjects. Humiliate? I mean, I do need to humiliate somebody. Love to get power projection up. We can't humiliate and force vassalize. I'd probably value the Malnarch points more than a subject right now. I think you're right. Humiliate's better. We'll just take the two. We'll leave him alive. We'll come back for the rest later. He'll stop being a valid rival. We can just vassalize the difference in the future. Vassalizing gives power projection. It does, but this gives us 42 power projection, and it gives us a splendor bonus, which is an extra 2. So in this peace deal, when it says 42, it really is 44. Because you get 42 from the piece, and then 2 extra for the Splendor. 44 power projection, and then also you generate more Splendor points per month, which lets you do your clicks, versus Forced Vassalization, which is only 30, and you don't get the extra 2, and you don't get the extra Splendor. So yeah, in this case, I think Humiliate's better. Pretty sure it's +3. Age fulfilled objectives +3. Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, it's 3. I don't know why I thought it was 2. Hey, buddy. Where you going? Stay in the box. Don't bite my fingers again, please. He's decided that the box is not nearly as entertaining as he originally assumed it would be, and has decided to instead get out. Does anyone want knowledge? We have negative 50 reasons with peoples. Neutral attitude. England isn't allied to Asturias. Problem is that England is rivaled with France, so we can't really do that. And France has loans. So we can't offer him knowledge sharing because of the loans. We have negative diplo rep. Well, we might just not be able to offer knowledge to anybody. That's not good. Forgot about that. Having over 10% overextension causing civil war if we don't have 75 legitimacy. Fortunately, we're going to have everything cored in 16 months. Totally planned. We have 20 months until the disaster. It'll take 16 months to core. Everything's fine. Of course, that means we can't really take any more land from Portugal. I don't think we should fight Portugal yet. Portugal's too strong. Got a tech advantage. He's got more troops than I do, more manpower than I do. We've got issues to deal with. I also have no forts. Now, or with Aragon, though. It's looking possible to me. I can release Galicia, though, if I take Portuguese clay. Oh, it's tempting. Okay, that is 2 embargoes. Our truce is up with Castile in 67. Still a very long truce. He's resumed his siege. It's tempting. It's tempting to just go after Portugal. What would it really take? Portugal did lose some troops. He's down to 7,500, so we actually have more men than he does now. But he's got lots of extra manpower. I bet if we hired like 2 mercs... What if we just do this? What if we just attack Portugal, but rather than try to win by like occupying his forts and fighting his army, what if we just occupy all 4 of these provinces, all 5 of these provinces, and then we occupy and besiege his 2 forts, and then we use the war score from mostly occupying him to just take a bunch of money and weaken him for the next war. You don't need a fort if you don't take land. If you just take money, we could do that. And I'm leaning toward doing that. I think that's going to be what I do. But if we're going to do that, we're going to start with the whole army up north. We need to get caught up on admin tech. We can't really afford to be coring anything right now anyway. So an economic war, I think, is the way to go. A 125, babby. Don't want a 125, babby. Gotta declare the war like right now, though, if we want no one else to defend him. Got 8,000 troops again. I'm mostly confident that this will work.